not again. This is not happening to me again. I think at this point it's just safe to just say that anywhere you are living in the UK, trust me, the cost of living is on the increase. Now I accept, I agree, I concur. I mean, just some few minutes ago I noticed that the room is not hot enough, like everywhere is not warm, and I was wondering what could be the problem. But this had happened to me before, and when I came to check, I discovered that I'm out of energy supply. So let me just come and check right now, because it's not possible. I mean, I just recharged £70 on the 30th of November, and today is 11th of November. £70 cannot be gone. My brother, my sister, I just came to check now. It is gone. Oh, it is gone, because the heating is just beeping, like it's just beeping as if money has finished. But I'll go and check the meter reading right now. I used to live in London, and you know, I also did some research. Sometimes they go saying that it's easier to live outside London, it's cheaper, is this. But at this point, it is safe to say anywhere you live in the UK right now, forget it. It is expensive. How can I recharge £70 on the 30th of November, and today being 11th of December? The money is gone. And before then, I recharged £120 on 25th November. Anyway, because the apartment is new, so everywhere is still cold, so I had to on the heating a lot of time so that everywhere is warm. You know, the walls, because it's a place that have not been used for a while, so it's better that it to be cold. So, but that's understandable. How can I build a property and in less than 2 weeks I'm already spending £190? Yeah, it's 120.70. Yeah, £190. I need to get my reading now for the gas, and let's just I just pray it is not what I am thinking. Honestly, I pray it is not what I am thinking right now. Like, I pray it is not what I am thinking, honestly. You just open, come on, I beg. See, this one is remaining £10. Seriously? Ha. Let me see the gas reading. Let me see. What do I have? £2.42. Jesus. Seriously? Did you see that? £2.42. So that means I've spent £72.42. That means I've spent 67 point something pound in 12 days. You see, I actually moved up north recently, and I'm trying to see, okay, so that I can do some savings and everything. Before I go into details, let me go and top up before it's too late and I'm not able to do top up for today. I'll give you the full gist soon.
Kindly increase the volume on your device.
So now I have to get to the store so that I can be able to top up on time before it's too late. So this is the gist. I actually used to live in London, and when I was doing some content, I had to do a video and do some research about living outside the UK. I mean, living outside London compared to living in London. And so I came to this place, and I actually came to do something different. And when I came here, I did some few research, and I discovered that, oh, it's easier to buy an apartment when you're outside London compared to when you're in London. So for that reason, I now made a decision to say, okay, let me just relocate. And as you can see, you see this property, you see this one, you see all this property there, as you can see. So this property is actually cost, like, let's say £210,000, £240, £170, depending on the number of the bedrooms, you understand. And in London, you cannot see a property for that amount. It's not possible. So, and when you look at it, when we are looking at the cost of the minimum wage, you know, if you're going to get a particular job here in Manchester, you get it for, like, say £9.50 per hour, right? And if you're going to get a job in London, the most common job is always like £10, £11 per hour. So when you weigh it, like, you feel like, okay, there's no much difference. So let me just come to Manchester, or let me just go outside London, which is easier. But now I have weighed the difference, like I have checked it, and trust me when I say, apart from renting an apartment, apart from buying a house, trust me, there's no difference between the two cities. I'm saying this with full chest. Okay, I'm almost at the store right now, so I'll continue from where I stop. As you can see, I'm freezing right now, like seriously freezing. And they say that it's better to live outside London. I beg, am I not going to pack my load and go back? Okay, no, don't worry. I'll leave it for you to judge. After I start telling you the differences, then you will decide which is better. Okay, so now I'm back home. Let me just run through this video quickly now before I resume my domestic duties. Okay, so I've actually jotted down the comparison. And first, when you're looking at it, the first thing I'm going to be looking at is house. That is either renting a house or buying a house outside London compared to in London. So as I said earlier, it's much cheaper to buy a house outside London compared to when you're buying a house in London. And talking about rents, because I didn't mention anything about rents there. So for you to rent a 2-bedroom apartment, remember that when we're living in London, a 2-bedroom apartment actually cost 1,100, 1,200. At least the last one was 1,200, just the rent alone. You understand? And a 2-bedroom in Manchester you can get for 650, you can get 750, you can get 700, depending on the type of apartment. And now when you're getting that 2-bedroom in London, it's going to be a flat. It's always like flats that you can get within that range of 1,001, 1,002. And I even heard that now you cannot even get 1,002. Like you can only get, at the minimum, you get 1,250, and that is just a flat. But if you are looking at renting in Manchester, for example, I'm going to use Manchester because those are the two cities that I'm comparing. You'll be able to get a 2-bedroom house. House means you have your bedroom upstairs, you have the living room and the kitchen, and you have a garden to yourself for your kids. So you get that one for 650, 700, 750, 800. Like for a while when we came into the UK, at first people were telling us, we're staying in London, it's best to stay in London. Oh, my house in Birmingham cost this, my house in Belfast cost this, my house in Cardiff cost this. And I'll be like, I beg, when I live for that place, you know this idea of where do you stay? I stay in London. I beg you, I stay in London and money in the queue. Another thing that you will consider also when I now look at it again, comparing council tax. So when we moved here, our council tax that we charged is £172. That's for 2 adults, right? And when I back in London, you will get it for, depending on the what's it called now, is it category or what? I mean, depending on the band that your house falls, because there's band A, band B, band C, and the likes. So in London it's like 150, and some pay like 180. So you can see that even the council tax in Manchester, imagine, it's even expensive. Okay, so when you go to transportation in London, when you're using a bus, for each touch on when you use an Oyster card, it is £1 65 pence. It used to be £1 45 pence, but I heard it's now £1 65 pence, right? But in Manchester, for every single ride, because in Manchester is not like you thought, like it's a different thing totally. So for each trip you pay £2. You understand? So your best bet, if you are new in Manchester, the best bet is just for you to buy £5. That is a day bus. If you're not someone that goes out frequently, and if you're someone that goes out frequently, just buy for the week. It's cheaper, because when you are going somewhere for each stop, you are going to, like, even if you are going to the next stop, before they used to say they'll give you £1, they give you £2, but now, I mean, they give you £1 or £1.50 or £1.20, but now it is £2 for every stop. So your best bet is just to buy £5, because hardly will you be going to a place and you only go on you only get there I mean on the same bus without changing bus. So, and if you have to change bus, that means you pay another £2 again, that's £4. And then when you're coming back again, you pay £2, that's £8. So why not just get £5 day bus pass, and then you can use it for the whole day to go to wherever you want to go to. Whereas in London, where you've done 3 touches in a day, that is, you've touched your Oyster card, or you've been charged, let me use this word, you've been charged 3 times in a day. You know, in London, if you enter 2 different buses within an hour, they won't charge you. But in Manchester, it's not like that too. Once you don't enter, you don't reach where they go, they don't charge you, you don't collect money. In fact, if you in London, they will charge you at the end of the day. This one, immediately you touch like this, boom, your money is out too in Manchester. And that thing again is when you're on the buses in Manchester, they will not the bus will not announce the next stop, you will not even see the next stop. It's only few, in fact, maybe 1 out of 10 that you'll be able to see your next stop or something like that. Unlike in London, where as you're going, it will tell you your next stop, so that at least you know where you are going to alight or something like that. But in Manchester, the best bet is just, once you're going anywhere, just put it on the map and be looking at the map. The map will be directing you to tell you where you're going to stop or where you've gotten to, and tell you get off at the next stop or something like that. I'll come to that later. Anyway, then another thing again is when you're outside London, your best bet again is just for you to be driving. It's easier to drive outside London than in London, and it's also better to drive outside London than in London. And another thing again, this was just a discretion anyway, just a digression. So like, it's just good for you also to get the proficiency driver's license if as soon as you get into the UK. Of course, most of the jobs right now requires you to be driving for you to be able to get employment and all that, and that's good. And another thing again is, for anything you're doing, when they're asking for proof of address, you don't want to be bringing out your BRP card at all the time for everybody to know what your exact status is and all that. Just get the proficiency driver's license. It's going to be it's valid for 10 years, and I think once you try your driver's license, you can only, I think you have to pass within 2 years or something like that. Just read it up, but trust me, it's good for you to get it, so that at least you can be using that as your proof of address, because it has your address and everything on it. You don't have to be going around with your BRP card or your passport, as the case may be. So when we're not talking about job, yes, in London, you'll be able to get their different kind of job, or how do I put the word now? What's the right word? Oh, this word is skipping my mind now. Like there's diverse of job opportunities or high job opportunities in London compared to Manchester. That's what I used to believe, but nah. Most of the job that people get to do here, let me use that word, is the care and the other likes of the jobs and other, and care is care anyway, care is care. So, and the minimum pay that you will get is even some places in London they pay £9.50, you understand, and in Manchester they'll pay £9.50. So tell me, the pay is the same thing. So you can now decide, if you are getting the same pay, why do you want to go and pay more on rent in London? Well, except maybe you just want to. Anyway, I will leave you to decide. Then also, when you talk about amenities, okay, in London, I give it to them, like you are able to get places where you can get things easily without getting on the bus. But in Manchester, depending on where your location is, you might have to travel. I mean, not travel, when I mean travel, we're always using the word travel. You might have to get on the bus for you to be able to get all these African things or something like that. Anyways, unlike in London, that's at least for every area, no matter what, you definitely get an off-license store or those Pakistan store that will sell, even if not all what you need, but you will get 1 or 2 things. But in Manchester, and that's my case. So talking about neatness, London is neater than Manchester. Don't argue with. I know some people used to argue. People in Manchester used to argue with me. In London, though, there are places that are dirty, that's the streets, but in Manchester, most of the places, I mean, you have more places that is dirty than the place that is neat. Yes, I said so. So talking about serenity, yeah, if you want a cool and quiet environment, then you can be thinking about living outside London. And Manchester, yes, is cool, like it's quiet, and just a few places is noisy, yeah, and rowdy. But in unlike London, that most of the places is rowdy. Anyway, now talking about weather, you know when they say up north, moving up north, you can see I am suing for those that understand my language. Like it's cold, like in Manchester, the weather is when it is cold, it is too cold. When it is hot, it is too hot. I'll just leave it that way. But compared to London, where you have more people, so it's different. Like the weather is just, it's okay. Anyway, I'll just say that the weather in UK, in London, is kind of better. I won't say it's better, but the weather in London is more conducive than that of Manchester. So is there another thing that I want to compare? If there's another thing you want me to compare, just let me know in the comment section and I'll gladly let you know. So that's just to let you know what the difference is between living in London and living in Manchester. So it's easier to get a house, to buy a house outside London than to buy a house in London, because a house in London will cost you at a minimum, and that one is even maybe like 1 bedroom flats. It's flats, not house. You understand? So and it will cost like 350, 400 pound, 500 pound. But in Manchester, house, so real house, catalog house, catalog. Anyway, let me just stop here. I hope you've been able to enjoy your time with me today. Until I see you in my next video, bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, bro. By now we should be a family, YouTube family. You understand what I'm talking about? If you haven't subscribed, do that right now. Just click that red button and be a part of this family. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.